Watch this before it gets taken down. This video was taken by an undercover reporter who was allegedly arrested by North Korean police after it went viral and was sentenced to 10 years of hard labor for espionage. In the video, we see a 23-year-old homeless woman who says she's collecting grass to feed rabbits, lost both of her parents, and has no food for herself. She was found dead a few weeks later. Videos like these show us the harsh reality of life within the brutal regime of North Korea that they do not want us to see. Or do they? Warning, Philip is a professional mind blower. The topics discussed are not for the closed-minded. These leaked recordings are completely banned from leaving the country, and anyone responsible faces harsh consequences. But there was one Canadian man who ended up leaking their national TV broadcasts to the world by accident. This guy was messing with the satellites to scan for free sports in Canada when he came across this. Little did he know, he just hacked into North Korean state TV, giving us a glimpse of what they show to their people that we were not supposed to see. Every day, the national anthem and songs glorifying the country and their leaders played at 8 a.m. sharp. And then it just kinda kept on going and going. Hours of content of the country basically glazing itself and dissing America. There were also a couple of movies in there that honestly looked like they were made in the 70s. And even cartoons for children played, as well as Premier League football, you know, soccer, which I highly doubt they have the rights for, and it was for last year's season 2. Overnight, the broadcast dies, signaling to everyone it's time to sleep, showing these classic color bars until 8 a.m. when it starts all over again. Their programming was slightly unsettling at worst, but it was nothing compared to the other leaked vids circulating online. You see, any official videos the North Korean government does release to the world are always manicured to only show its best side, and oftentimes those feel unnatural. Like these strange TikTok accounts run by the North Korean state media themselves, as no one there is even allowed to access social media, that totally glamorize life in their country, ranging from low-key kind of funny to downright creepy, and many of these videos have even gone viral.
My daily morning walk in North Korea. Very quiet and calming.
Happy, cheerful, text-to-speech and captions that completely hide the grim reality of life in this regime, but maybe this goes much deeper than it looks. As any sort of insight to life beyond what the state media gives us is hidden, or at least they really try to hide it from us. So I'm risking it all and exposing the videos the DPRK, Democratic People's Republic of Korea, don't want you to see. Leaked interrogation footage between officers and alleged defectors show the truth of what really happens if you break the law over there. Which honestly, this gets so bad, I can't even show you the full clip. This guy here gets blindfolded and abused before getting told to face the wall to continue the interrogation and getting beaten some more shortly after, showing us how vicious the North Korean guards are, especially with people that try to escape the country, as most of these people are being held for. Videos of children as young as 8 years old working in labor camps, building railroads and other infrastructure while they barely even have enough to eat, being forced to lift heavy rocks and undergo intense manual labor for 10+ hours a day. The infamous North Korean prison camps, as much as they like to deny it, they're real, where citizens and even foreign travelers get sent to for committing the most trivial crimes, often without trial. And depending on the severity of the crime, not only would your entire family get sent to prison with you, but even the next 3 generations of your family could end up in these prisons for a crime you committed and they had no involvement in. There isn't much footage of these, and what we do have is blurry, grainy, and zoomed in from far away. But even from these, we can see the harsh conditions of the prisoners being pushed around and forced to carry logs and massive stones. Oh, and that TikTok account that glorifies the DPRK, here is their official video for what they claim their prison camps to be like.
POV, you get sent to a North Korean prison camp. Come to North Korea today.
Propaganda at its finest. Right? If they ever do have trials, they're often public to both humiliate the criminals and as another scare tactic. In this public trial, 2 teenagers were punished with hard labor for the terrible crime of watching and distributing South Korean K-dramas. Yes, imagine getting sentenced to years of hard labor because you decided to watch Squid Game. Now, in case any of this is enticing you to visit North Korea, the main hotel you'd likely stay at is the Yangakdo International Hotel. This is where most tourists are told to stay, and upon entering the elevator in the hotel, hotel, you might notice something quite interesting. The 5th floor is missing, but honestly, if you were in North Korea, that's probably the last thing you'd be looking at. Apparently, the 5th floor acts as a sort of surveillance command center of the hotel, where state officials spy on all visitors with cameras and mics bugged in every room. So yeah, don't say anything out of pocket here. Only staff are allowed on this floor, but some risk-taking tourists actually managed to get in and sneak a bit of footage of it, which Kim Jong-un would not be happy to see. One American tourist named Otto Warmbier even made the fatal mistake of taking down a propaganda poster from the walls of this hotel as a souvenir, for which he was caught and sentenced to 15 years of hard labor for taking a poster. He was held by state officials for 17 months before finally being released back to the US, but he arrived home in a coma and tragically lost his life shortly after, bringing into question the conditions he was held in during his captivity by the DPRK. Here's a tourist who decided to take the scenic route while driving in the North Korean countryside and found out firsthand how great their roadwork is. Clearly, we don't have much insight as to what happens in North Korea other than the propaganda they show us or the occasional leaked blurry videos like these. This country sometimes doesn't even seem real. Everything we see is so ridiculously over the top that it almost feels like a parody of itself. Now, what if none of this is real? Oh yeah, we stepped into crazy theory territory right here. Fair warning, this is some bottom of the conspiracy iceberg type shit right here. A fringe theory that probably isn't true and is for entertainment only. And if you've made it this far into the video, congrats, because you're one of the few who's actually gonna hear about it. The North Korea Utopia theory states that the country is actually a utopia that has perfected life and living conditions for everyone, free from the worries of everyday life. And the only way they can keep it running is if no one knows about it. Meaning all these videos and leaks about North Korea are staged to make it seem like they're this evil, oppressive, totalitarian regime. And then they act like they try to cover it up, being so blatant with their propaganda that to the common viewer it seems obvious what they're doing. When in reality, according to this theory, North Korea is actually playing 4D chess with the world, always 2 steps ahead. Living as a utopian society, faking leaked videos, pretending to cover them back up, and showing the world this obviously staged perception of the country so no one thinks twice. All while influencing Western countries like the States to continue portraying the harsh living conditions they allegedly endure. And paid defectors continue to tell the world how horrible it is there to cover up the truth. North Korea does lie to its citizens about the USA, calling it an imperialist, capitalist hell where everyone is homeless. That's literally what they say in their propaganda about the West. But what if we're the ones being lied to about North Korea being painted as a harsh regime? As the only way this utopian society can continue to operate is without foreign influence. If a utopia did exist, everyone would want to move there. If everyone moves there, it's no longer utopia. Quite honestly, I don't buy it. There's just way too much info, press releases, videos, and first-hand accounts from travelers out there for this to be some elaborate cover-up. This was, for all intents and purposes, a fun thought experiment. And I do strongly believe capitalism is far superior than the other one. But then again, if there ever was a paradise on Earth, the only way to keep it going would be to not tell anyone about it. It really would be the ultimate M. Night Shyamalan plot twist if we were the ones being fed the propaganda, wouldn't it?